Grandpa taught me years ago, do business with people you know and who know you. That's why I joined Fort Financial Credit Union. Their staff knows I'm busy at college. They set me up with a checking account, a debit card, and an auto loan. With the Fort's mobile app, I can check balances, transfer money, and make my car payment. My grandparents loved doing business with the Fort, and I do too. My future, my family, my Fort.
Welcome to the University of St. Francis, located in the heart of Fort Wayne, Indiana, where the Cougar basketball programs have won 2 national championships and finished runner-up twice since 2010. And the Cougar football program is fresh off a 2016 national championship. USF is a 3-time gold-level Champions of Character institution, one of only 12 NAIA schools to earn that distinction. The University of St. Francis provides you the opportunity to get a great education while competing for championship. Welcome in, everyone. We're getting ready for game number 2 of our doubleheader. In game number 1, winning it was St. Francis 12-10 over the Bethel College Pilots. Joining me here in the booth is the star of the game, Keaton Sullivan. Now, Keaton, let's just start off with out in the field there. You had that one play in center field. The ball was in your mitt for a second. It popped out. Now, this win, you could tell a lot of the outfielders were having a hard time dealing with this wind. What's it like playing center field with this 20-mile-an-hour wind blowing right at your face?
I'm not going to blame it on the wind. That was my mistake. I was running in, and I actually covered the ball with my glove there and come in, hit me right on the palm, bounced out. That's my mistake. Is it hard judging the fly balls out there in the outfield? Yeah, it is. I mean, it is coming in quick. You could see with Bethel, they hit a line shot out there, and it just kept rising, and home run for them. Yep.
Yeah, they had 2 back-to-back home runs there in the last inning. Now let's start off with your broken bat RBI single. First time I've ever seen that. Have you ever done that before?
No, actually I haven't. I really couldn't tell you. I don't even know where I hit the ball at, and then top of my bat just went flying. I don't know.
So you don't know if it was off more towards the handle or?
I mean, that's probably what it was. I mean, my bat just went flying. I thought it was going to hit their shortstop right in the head over there. I don't know what was going on there.
Well, let's talk about that. You had a grand slam that ended up being the game-winning hit. We were tied 8-8. You had a 4 RBI at bat right there. Take us through that at bat.
He let me off with a curveball in the dirt, and with that, I was actually hoping for that fastball that came in right in my sweet spot, and that's what happened. Grand slam. So
now, whose home run went further, you or Justice?
I'm going to have to say it was probably mine. But I was real happy for him, too. I think that was his first home run of the season for us, and I think this is his first year with St. Francis, too, so I'm real happy for him.
Well, here in your senior year, what's it been like? It's a young team, but a strong team, really good middle of the lineup with yourself kind of anchoring it. But what's it been like, with these young guys? You got Noah, this is your second year playing with him. Tyler, his first season with the team. He's batting .320 to lead St. Francis. What's it like, with this kind of the young power-hitting talent that we got in the squad?
They're doing real well. The young guys they're learning, and they're hitting real well. I think here coming up in the next few years, they're going to be doing real well in the conference.
Well, Keaton, we wish you all the best here in game number 2, and good luck the rest of the season.
Thank you very much. Thank you for having me.
Yes, sir. That's Keaton Sullivan, our player of the game there in game number 1, folks. It's 20-mile-an-hour winds blowing right in the outfielder's face, so it is tough to kind of judge those balls out there. And joining us is going to be Dustin Butcher, the assistant coach. Butch, you got some time to talk, or do you got some things to do?
Absolutely. We're good to go.
Well, let's talk about that game number 1. St. Francis winning at 12-10. Cougars down pretty much the whole game, but a huge bottom of the 6th, highlighted by that grand slam by Keaton Sullivan.
Yeah, that was big. And, we've been grinding all year, and that just kind of everything kind of seemed to come to a head, and the practice we had yesterday about just staying within yourself. We didn't get the pitching that we thought we'd get from Dane, but Chandler Rivera did a really good job of just keeping us close. He kind of ran out of gas that last inning, and Zabarski was able to come in and close it down. But it was nice to see timely hitting and timely pitching at the same time.
And that's exactly what it was. Chandler Rivera, 2.2 innings pitched, ended up with 4 strikeouts, gave up those home runs, but on a day like today, you get anything up in the air and it's going to fly.
Yeah, he did a really good job those first 2 innings of locating his changeup, and you could tell it was something that they weren't ready for after we made that pitching change. He got behind the 2 hitters that hit the home runs. So, but again, Chandler Rivera, he does a good job of fastball changeup. Caught him off guard, and then again he kind of ran out of gas. But again, Zabarski came in. He's one of those guys that just kind of revels in those moments, and it was great to see him come in and just shut the door down.
The Cougar bats really getting after starting pitcher Josh King for Bethel. You could tell at times he was a little bit flustered on the mound as well.
He was. I think he made some really good pitchers pitches where, some umpires, especially in this league, we've seen him go as strikes, and he didn't get them for strikes. And you can tell that it was a little frustrating for him. You got to tip your cap, though. He competes really well. Every time he toes the rubber, you're like, oh, boy, you're in for a dogfight. And he hates losing.
Well, here we got Noah Frymuth on the mound for St. Francis here in game number 2. Had a great game, once again playing left field for St. Francis. He's such a big guy, but he's also really fast out there on the field. But what do you expect to see from him on the bump?
Well, he's gonna feature a fastball that's mid 80s. He may run it up there upper just once or twice, but he's going to throw a nice hard slider. What really sets him apart is when he's good is his changeup, and he keeps the same arm slot. When he throws his changeup for strikes, we're in for a pretty good outing from him.
How hard is it to pitch in these conditions with that wind blowing in at 20 miles an hour, especially in your face?
Well, yeah, it is. It's probably like in football when you rely on the long ball, and the next thing you know, you're like, well, it kind of takes that game away a little bit. So you have to make adjustments as a pitcher. You got to pitch lower in the zone. You got to change your focus, and hope that you can get the ground balls and keep the ball in the ballpark.
Well, that's assistant coach Dustin Butcher. Butch, good luck here in game number 2.
Thanks, Jeff. Appreciate your time.
Absolutely. So we'll get started here. It's going to be Noah Frymuth on the bump for St. Francis. Noah entering with a 12.33 ERA, 0-3 record on the season. In 15.1 innings pitched, he's given up 23 hits, 21 runs, all of them earned, 10 walks, and 8 strikeouts. Opposing batters batting .348 against Noah. And leading off is going to be number 27, the shortstop, Luke Adams, as that first pitch is a strike into Adams. Frymuth, once again, very solid out in left field for the Cougs. Second pitch hit right underneath the glove of Tyler Prince as that was sharply hit into right field. So the leadoff batter is aboard for Bethel. That's Luke Adams with a single. That's going to bring up number 7, Colin Affel. Affolter, the center fielder, had a home run in game number 1. In game number 1, Affolter was 2 for 4 at the plate with a run scored and 2 RBI. Did have 1 strikeout. Luke Adams was 2 for 5 with 2 runs scored, 1 RBI and a strikeout. That one hit up the gut. Another sharply hit ball, so back-to-back singles here for Bethel to start this game.
That ball can't go through. You got to play more that way. That ball can't go through. That's a double play. Free here.
So David Snyder, the shortstop, nearly caught up to that ball. That's going to bring up Eric Kelver. We got runners at first and second. Kelver 2 for 3 in game number 1 with 2 runs scored and 2 RBI, 1 strikeout. Swings at that first pitch. It's drilled into right field. Playing right field for the Cougs here in game number 2 is Jack Harris. Jack was a DH in game number 1. In left field now, it's Michael McCowan. Keaton Sullivan still out there in center field. Keaton talked about the drop ball he had in center field. really said, you know, the wind, it's definitely harder to play outfield when you got a 25-mile-an-hour wind blowing in at you. But said he just caught that ball on the palm. Just popped out after he took that step. Keaton with the grand slam proved to be the game-winning hit there as we were tied at 8. Sullivan came up and just drilled it. Bethel did get 2 solo home runs there in the top half of the seventh, but Kyle Zabarski was able to come in and shut down the Pilots for the save. 1-2 now is your count to Eric Kelver. Kelver, the third baseman, played a good third base for Bethel. He was hit by a pitch in his first 2 at-bats in game number 1. Cougar pitcher Dane Hoffman, one of the leaders in the Crossroads League in hits by pitch. He's the right-hander with the sidearm delivery. Got a lot of movement on his pitches. 2-2's the count with runners at first and second and 0 outs here in the top of the first. Ball hit right at Snyder. Over to Justice Tussing. 4-2. The 6-4-3 double play. Adams will advance to third base, but great play out there by Snyder and the Cougar defense. Your batter now is Mike Wathier. Wathier with a home run in that 7th inning, a solo shot. Listed at 6'2". Looks like he's closer to 6'3", 6'4". Ball in the dirt as Adams is going to come home trying to score, and he will on the pass ball. So Bethel up 1-0 in this game after the wild pitch by Frymuth. One your count to Wathier. Check swing, low in the zone. 2-1 your count. Luke Adams scored the first run of the game for Bethel in game number 1 in the first inning. So game number 2 starting off just like game number 1 did. 3-1 your count. Really nice having the scoreboard up and functioning out there in right center field. Wathier went down to pop that one up, and it's going to fall. Looks like McCowan lost it up in the sky. So that'll be a double for Mike Wathier. With 2 outs, that brings up Mason Love, the catcher. Love in game number 1 was the DH. Catching here in game number 2. Sean Luzin, who came in on relief of Josh King, he'll be your DH in game number 2. Love swings at the first pitch as a lot of these batters have been hopping on the first pitch. Keaton Sullivan with the throw, cut off by Prince. So that's going to be an RBI single by Mason Love. Folks, we got rain expected to come in. There could be a little bit of a delay if that happens, but this game will go on as we're on an artificial surface. I'm actually more worried about the camera. Jesse Cepeda, right fielder, now your batter. Cepeda was 0 for 4 in game number 1. First pitch swung on, picked up by Tussing for out number 3. We'll head to the bottom of the first inning. Bethel's up 2-0 over your Cougs.
athlete or the parent of one, you want to check out Parkview Sports Medicine. We serve every level of athlete with our sports nutritionist, our expert physicians at ONE, and the area's only specialized athletic rehab. To learn more, go to parkviewsportsmedicine.com and click on the Services tab.
Timely hitting there for Bethel in the top half of the first inning. The Pilots, Mason Love with an RBI single. Luke Adams, Colin Afforder with back-to-back singles to lead off this game. Mike Wathier with a big double, and he ended up scoring on that RBI single by Mason Love. Luke Adams was able to get home on a pass ball. You got live stats on the game changer. Looks like they haven't started yet. Leading it off for your Cougars will be David Snyder. On the bump, it's number 4. Andrew Bobeck. Bobeck with a 6.48 ERA, 0-1 record on the season. In 33.1 innings pitched, he's given up 36 hits, 29 runs, 24 of those earned, 22 walks, 30 strikeouts. Opposing hitters batting .286 against Bobeck. So that first pitch is going to be a strike. David Snyder. Snyder starting the 6-4-3 double play there in the top half of the inning. Grounds out to start this game for the Cougs. It's going to bring up Tanner Gaff. Gaff in game number 1 was 0 for 3 with 1 run scored, had a walk and 2 strikeouts. Snyder was 1 for 3 at the plate with an RBI, a walk and a strikeout. Keaton Sullivan, player of the game in game number 1, was 2 for 4 with 2 runs scored, 5 RBI. Keaton Sullivan. Second pitch in there for a strike. Bobeck. Bobeck the lefty. Gaff lefty as well. 1-2 is your count. Bobeck is a junior, 5'11", 170 from Syracuse, Indiana, Fairfield High School, the Falcons. As Wathier collects it on the hop, flips it over to Bobeck for out number 2. It's going to bring the plate number 33, Noah Frymuth. Noah, the starting pitcher for the Cougs here in game number 2.
Brady, run for Noah if he gets on.
Noah was 2 for 4 with 2 runs scored in game number 1. In the first inning, he drilled a shot right back at Josh King. King lucky enough to get his mitt up in time to catch it. If not, would have went right off his forehead. First pitch is a swing and a miss to Noah Frymuth. 0-1 your count. Now that actually happened to a guy when I was playing Little League a long time ago. And the seams of the ball was imprinted on his forehead for about an hour. Frymuth. Fouled away. 0-2 the count. Still with 2 outs. Bobeck out of the windup. Frymuth battling at the dish. St. Francis and Bethel scheduled to play tomorrow at 1 p.m. here at the Ash Center. One-two your count. Frymuth with the swing and a miss. 3 up, 3 down for the Cougs in the bottom of the first. We'll head to the top of the second with Bethel up 2-0 here at the Ash Center.
Athlete or the parent of one, you want to check out Parkview Sports Medicine. We serve every level of athlete with our sports nutritionist, our expert physicians at O&E, and the area's only specialized athletic rehab. To learn more, go to parkviewsportsmedicine.com and click on the Services tab. AWP Sports finds the athlete's purpose beyond athletics, the industry leader in sports performance for over 10 years in Northeast Indiana. You can find out more by clicking on the Services tab at the top of this page.
Welcome to the University of St. Francis, located in the heart of Fort Wayne, Indiana, where the Cougar basketball programs have won 2 national championships and finished runner-up twice since 2010. And the Cougar football program is fresh off a 2016 national championship. USF is a 3-time gold-level Champions of Character institution, one of only 12 NAIA schools to earn that distinction. The University of St. Francis provides you the opportunity to get a great education while competing for champions. Welcome back, everybody. St. Francis with 0 hits there in the bottom half of the first inning. In the top half, Bethel with 4 hits and 2 runs scored. It's Noah Frymuth on the bump, and Matt Vollmer providing the battery for St. Francis. Leading off here for Bethel is going to be the number 7 hitter, Siam Laffey. Laffey, the second baseman. Entering today, he averages 1 error per game. That actually has him nationally ranked number 1. 33 errors on the season in 33 games. A little bit of rain coming in, as you can start to smell it. 1-0's the count. Laffey was 2 for 4 in game number 1 with 3 RBI and 1 strikeout. Getting it done at the plate was Laffey. 2-0. Rain is coming in behind the camera, so hopefully we won't get a raindrop on the lens. Pitch misses just outside. 3-0 now to Siam Laffey. Four straight pitches. Laffey takes first. That'll bring to the plate Sean Luzon. Luzon, who came in on relief, a relief pitcher in game number 1. A little bit of a leg kick there in his windup. Now he's a DH here. Game number 2. Entering today with a .225 batting average. 9 hits, 7 runs scored, and 40 at-bats. 4 walks, 9 strikeouts, 1 stolen base, and 1 attempt for Luzon. Laffey nearly getting picked there as Frymuth checked him at first. Frymuth starting in left field in game number 1. Plays a good left field. Runners off. Vollmer. Laffey now is going to hold up at 3. So stolen base for Laffey as he reaches third on the E2. Two-one's your count. Frymuth grooves it in there for strike two. 1-2 your count. Nice stop by Vollmer, saving a run. Counts at 2-2 now. Full count now to Luzon. So back-to-back walks to start the second inning here by Frymuth. That's going to bring up Andrew Miranda, left fielder. Coach Roberts going to come out, talk with Frymuth. Tanner Gaff, third baseman, talking with Vollmer. They got Laffey over there at third base. Miranda was 2 for 4 with a run scored and a strikeout in game number 1. Swings at that first pitch, tailing foul. Zero outs here with runners at first and third. Frymuth, the righty, started his career at Purdue University. Good backhand stop there by Vollmer. 1-1 the count, 0 outs. A little bit of rain swirling around. 1-2 your count now. Laffey at third. Luzon at first. Nice flip over to Snyder for the 4-6-3 double play. So another double play here for the Cougs, but coming home to score will be Laffey. Bases cleared here with 2 outs for Luke Adams, the leadoff hitter. First pitch to Adams is a ball, or excuse me, to, Adams, who singled and scored a run back in the first. That ball hit into right center field, perfect placement. Sullivan. Good job getting that ball in by Keaton Sullivan. He's going to bring up the number 2 hitter, Colin Affolter. Affolter singled, and then was a part of that double play back in the first. 1-0 the count to Colin Affolter. Ball hit right at Snyder. Easy toss to Tussing for out number 3. We'll head to the bottom of the second inning. 3-0 Bethel.
Grandpa taught me years ago, do business with people you know and who know you. That's why I joined Fort Financial Credit Union. Their staff knows I'm busy at college. They set me up with a checking account, a debit card, and an auto loan. With the Fort's mobile app, I can check balances, transfer money, and make my car payment. My grandparents loved doing business with the Fort, and I do too. My future, my family, my Fort.
Welcome to the University of St. Francis, located in the heart of Fort Wayne, Indiana, where the Cougar basketball programs have won 2 national championships and finished runner-up twice since 2010. And the Cougar football program is fresh off a 2016 national championship. USF is a 3-time gold-level Champions of Character institution, one of only 12 NAIA schools to earn that distinction. The University of St. Francis provides you the opportunity to get a great education while competing for championship. Welcome back, everybody. Bottom of the second inning. It's going to be Tyler Prince to lead it off for St. Francis, Keaton Sullivan, and Jack Harris. Prince in game number 1 was 0 for 3 at the plate with 1 run scored, 1 walk, and 1 strikeout. Prince is due today for a breakout here in game number 2. Entering today with a team best .320 batting average for Tyler Prince. First ball, backhanded by Laffey for out number 1. Brings up number 21, Keaton Sullivan. Keaton 2 for 4 with 2 runs scored, 5 RBI, 1 strikeout there in game number 1. Keaton now with 5 RBI in game number 1 puts his season total up to 24. That's a team high right there, 24 RBI. 0-1's your count. Ball in the dirt, 1-1. Huntington University in first place in the Crossroads League with a 9-1 conference record. Wesleyan at 11-5. Taylor at 9-5, and Spring Arbor at 9-6. 1-2 after the swing and a miss. St. Francis had 3 triples in the game against Siena Heights, and that's a Crossroads League game high on the season. 3 triples versus the Siena Heights Saints. That ball's drilled down the right field line. Sullivan with a stand-up double here with 1 out. Good piece of hitting there by Keaton Sullivan, who continues to get it done at the dish. In game number 1, folks, he had a broken bat RBI single. That'll bring the plate Jack Harris, right fielder. Obviously, that happens all the time in the major leagues, but with these aluminum bats, you just don't see it very often. Harris, your starting right fielder, was a DH in game number 1. 1 for 4 at the plate. 1 run scored, 1 RBI, and 1 strikeout for Harris in game number 1. Sullivan in scoring position at second base.
Jackson telephone.
Harris over to Wathier. struggled with it for a second, but was able to regroup for out number 2. 2 outs, Sullivan at second base. For your batter, Justice Tussing. Justice with his first home run of his career here at St. Francis in game number 1. It was a blast. Tussing. 1-0 is the count. Justice playing a good second base. Was a part of 2 double plays already in this game. A 6-4-3 and a 4-6-3. He and David Snyder making up the middle of the infield. Snyder always flashing the leather out there on the field. Sullivan at third.
That's a great eye, Tuss Bus.
3-0 is the count now to Justice Tussing with Michael McCowan on deck. Tussing was 2 for 4 with 2 runs scored and 2 RBI, 1 strikeout in game number 1. The bottom of the lineup really getting it done for the Cougs. Michael McCowan, who's on deck, was 2 for 3 with 2 runs scored. Out of the 8-hole. Full count now to Justice Tussing. Where's number 17? Upstairs for ball 4. Runners at the corners now with 2 outs for Michael McCowan. McCowan entering today with a 170 batting average. Played right field in game number 1, starting left fielder here in game number 2. First pitch swung on. Ball hit right at Luke Adams for out number 3. We'll head to the top of the 3rd inning. Bethel up 3-0. This game moving much faster than game number 1.
Athlete or the parent of one, you want to check out Parkview Sports Medicine. We serve every level of athlete with our sports nutritionist, our expert physicians at ONE, and the area's only specialized athletic rehab. To learn more, go to parkviewsportsmedicine.com and click on the Services tab.
Welcome back here in the top of the 3rd inning. Leading off for Bethel is going to be Eric Kelver. On deck will be Mike Wathier. Kelver hit into the 6-4-3 double play in his first at-bat. That did advance Adams to third base. Adams eventually scored on the wild pitch. Kelver once again 2 for 3 with 2 runs scored and 2 RBI in game number 1. Gaff comes up firing for out number 1. Good play there by the third baseman, the big boy Tanner Gaff. 6'4", 205. That'll bring up Mike Wathier. Wathier with a few more LBs, listed at 6'2", looks about 6'4", 230, 235. That ball's drilled. Snyder for out number 2. You just get a big smile on your face every time a ball's hit to David Snyder. It's pretty much an automatic out. It's going to bring up number 16, Mason Love. Catcher had an RBI single that scored Mike Wathier. That was back in the first.
Good pitch.
First pitch in there for a strike from Frymuth. Counts evened up at 1 apiece. None of the Crossroads League teams are ranked in the top 25. Other action today in the Crossroads League. It's Huntington at Spring Arbor and Mount Vernon Naz at Marion. Mount Vernon currently in 5th place. Marion in 6th place. So with 2 outs, Love will take first for number 9, Jesse Cepeda. First pitch fouled off, 0-1 your count. Bethel with 3 runs on 5 hits. Cougs with 1 hit, 1 error. Bethel nationally ranked, averaging 2.5 errors per game. 1-1 your count. On the pitch, low and outside. Pitch upstairs, 2-1 your count. Bethel College currently in last place with a 3-13 record. Grace College in 9th place with a 5-10 conference record. That ball swung on. Harris underneath it for out number 3. We head to the bottom of the 3rd inning. Bethel up 3-0 over your Cougs.
Grandpa taught me years ago, do business with people you know and who know you. That's why I joined Fort Financial Credit Union. Their staff knows I'm busy at college. They set me up with a checking account, a debit card, and an auto loan. With the Fort's mobile app, I can check balances, transfer money, and make my car payment. My grandparents loved doing business with the Fort, and I do too. My future, my family, my Fort.
Welcome to the University of St. Francis, located in the heart of Fort Wayne, Indiana, where the Cougar basketball programs have won 2 national championships and finished runner-up twice since 2010. And the Cougar football program is fresh off a 2016 national championship. USF is a 3-time gold-level Champions of Character institution, one of only 12 NAIA schools to earn that distinction. The University of St. Francis provides you the opportunity to get a great education while competing for championship. Welcome back to the Ash Center. Cougars down 3-0 to Bethel College here in the bottom of the 3rd inning. On the bump, that's Andrew Bobeck. Bobeck with, I don't know if this is updated here. It says 18 total pitches, but 1.1 innings pitched. So I think we got late started on the game changer. That being said, He's faced 8 batters through 2 innings. Vollmer leading off here. Swing and a miss to start. Bobek was 1-2-3 there in the first inning. Has 1 strikeout so far in this game as he was able to get Noah Frymuth, his opposing pitcher, to strike out. 0-2's the count. On deck, it's David Snyder, shortstop. Bobek, another one fouled off. Vollmer, 5'8", 175 junior from Kitchener, Ontario. Really athletic behind the plate is Matt Vollmer. As he punches that one into left field. Fielding on the hop was number 24, Andrew Miranda. Leadoff batters aboard here for the leadoff hitter, David Snyder. Courtesy runner is going to be number 20, Brady Harris, 6 foot, 165 sophomore.
Hey, stay up. Let's go, Zero. Stay up.
Even I can hit a hanging curveball.
Come on, Snyder, keep it rolling.
No, like you need to just suck right.
First pitch is fouled off. Snyder.
Hey, stand up. Come on, let's go.
Brady Harris in game number 1 did have a stolen base. Tanner Gaff, Noah Frymuth also with a stolen base for St. Francis in game number 1. 1-1's your count. 0 outs. Bottom of the 3rd, Cougars looking for a rally. Get something going here. Pitch up and in, 2-1's your count.
Let's go, Dave.
3-1 now your count. Indiana Wesleyan scored 21 runs against Brescia out of Kentucky back on March the 6th. That's a Crossroads League high. St. Francis gave up 21 earned runs at Indiana Tech on the 6th of April. That also is a Crossroads League high. So Snyder draws the walk. We have runners at first and second now for Tanner Gaff. Gaff, who grounded out to the first baseman Wathier in his first AB.
Yes. There was no water in it. Somebody could have put water in it.
Looking at the top 3 batters in the Crossroads League, Nathan Targart from Taylor has a .449 batting average overall. Ben Longacre from Goshen's at .419. We saw Longacre play here in the first broadcast game from the Ash Center. He's fantastic, the center fielder, sophomore center fielder for Goshen. 0-1's your count to Gaff. Daniel Lichty from Huntington, a freshman at .419. Mount Vernon Nazarene's Jesse Stott batting .386. And Nick Mosier from Mount Vernon Naz batting .385. That ball's drilled by Gaff right up the gut. Coming home to score will be Brady Harris on the RBI single by Tanner Gaff. Gaff ripped that ball right up the gut. As Brady Harris, who was pinch running for Matt Vollmer, came home to score. That brings up the pitcher, Noah Frymuth. Nice piece of hitting there by Tanner Gaff. The Cougs now with 3 runs in this game, or 3 hits in this game, 1 run. Frymuth with the open stance, looking to lay down the bunt. 0-1's your count.
Come on, Fry guy, help yourself. You go, Fry guy.
The 0-1 to Frymuth. It's Andrew Bobeck from the stretch.
You're good. Good. Good look. Come on, Noah.
1-1 the count now to Frymuth. Gaff at first base.
Let's go.
And a quick throw, that's Snyder at second. Speed on the base pass for St. Francis. Frymuth checks that one. That was inside for strike 2. Just catching the zone there was Andrew Bobeck. John Young from Indiana Wesleyan, #1 in the Crossroads League with a 1.71 ERA. Matt Patton from Taylor right behind him with a 1.72. Swing and a miss there for Frymuth for the first out. That'll bring to the plate Tyler Prince, first baseman. Prince grounded out to the second baseman, Laffey, in his first at-bat. Prince still looking for his first hit on the day. Here in game number 2 of this doubleheader. Looking like the rain's going to miss us. We got on the weather app and said it was going to rain about 4:15. It's now 4:47 here in the bottom of the third. First pitch is inside for ball 1.
Let's go, 2-3.
Big cut by Prince. 1-1 your count.
Let's go, 2-3.
Small lead here by the base runners, Gaff and Snyder. Snyder at second.
Hey, stay to the ball, Frank.
Clay Riggins from Taylor with a 2.03 ERA, ranked #3 in the Crossroads League. Counts 2-1 now to Prince.
Let's go, 2-3.
Connor West and Colton Punches from Huntington, 2.25 and a 2.35. That rounds out the top 5 ERA in the Crossroads League. Pitch fouled off, 2-2 now your count. Taylor as a team has the top team batting average at 324. Mount Vernon Naz at 316. Bethel at 292. A lot of Bethel's top hitting coming out of conference. Bethel opened up the season against Ohio State Mansfield. Bethel won 12-0, 13-1, 20-12, and 16-0 in their first 4 games against Ohio State Mansfield. It's one way to get your stats looking nice to start the season. Full count now to Prince with runners at first and second. Laffey holding on Snyder at second.
All day 0. Baby. Hey, go easy, Jay. Let's go, 2-3. Gotta come to you.
Bobeck from the stretch, swing and a miss. And both runners were off Gaff was already on second base. We got 2 outs. So that'll do it. We're going to head to the top of the 4th inning with Bethel up 3-1 over the Cougs.
P Sports finds the athlete's purpose beyond athletics. The industry leader in sports performance for over 10 years in Northeast Indiana. You can find out more by clicking on the Services tab at the top of this page.
Everything that I do can have an impact on somebody else.
You can dream any dream and you can chase any dream, and you can have a chance to succeed at that dream.
We're here just a speck of time.
Given the opportunities to be selfless.
That's what God does with us.
Not forgetting how you got here and who helped you along the way.
What are you doing for others?
Those to whom much has been given, much is expected.
If you're an athlete or the parent of one, you want to check out Parkview Sports Medicine. We serve every level of athlete with our sports nutritionist, our expert physicians at O&E, and the area's only specialized athletic rehab. To learn more, go to parkviewsportsmedicine.com.
Welcome back, everybody, here in the top of the 4th inning. Bethel going to bring to the plate.
Let's go, threes. Go, give up.
Siam Laffey.
You understand? When you get the steal, you run.
Laffey walked and stole a base, scored a run back in the 2nd inning. Stole a base and then stole second and then reached third on the E2. It's Frymuth on the bump. First pitch, fouled off against backstop. 0-1 your count. Pitch misses low. We're evened up at 1 apiece. Indiana Wesleyan with the best team ERA at 2.68. Taylor at 3.0. 1-2 now your count. Huntington at 3.64. Mount Vernon Naz at 4.74. And Bethel at 5.54. St. Francis with a 7.0 team ERA. Opponents pitching 3.26 against St. Francis. Count will remain at 2-2.
Get him here. Let's go, threes. You got it.
Tanner Gaff with the RBI single that scored Brady Harris. Laffey's going to draw the walk. That'll bring the plate Sean Luzon.
Turn 2.
Tanner Gaff playing in on the grass. Prince holding the runner on. Laffey's off, hit and run. Beautifully played as that was a shot up the gut. Laffey now at third. We have runners at the corners. 0 outs. Laffey might have tweaked his left ankle a little bit, rounding into third. Beautiful hit and run put on there by Bethel. That'll bring up Andrew Miranda.
No worries, Streets. Just get this one.
Ooh, big pitch there by Frymuth. 0-1 your count.
There it is, threes right there.
Luzon walked. in his first at-bat back in the second. Then was thrown out at second base as part of a 4-6-3 double play. 1-1 your count. 2 double plays already in this game by the Cougars. One in the first inning started by Snyder, and one in the second inning started by Tussin. Frymuth is going to check Luzon back at first. Bunt off the backstop. 1-2 now the count. Ran to the left fielder.
Let's go, threes. Just get him here.
Pitch upstairs. 2-2 now your count. Prince holding on the runner at first. Nice lead by Luzon. Cougs next week on Tuesday will host Spring Arbor, a doubleheader. On Wednesday, they'll travel to Lourdes to take on Lourdes out of Ohio. That's Sylvania, Ohio. Lourdes out of the WAC conference. On Friday, St. Francis will host Marion. And then on Saturday, it'll be a doubleheader. Tagging up on the play is Laffey on the sacrifice fly by Andrew Miranda.
Let's go, threes. Hey, we got one. Go on. Let's spin it. Get out of this.
One out. Your batter is Luke Adams, the leadoff hitter. Adams with 2 singles. He's 2 for 2 in this game. Adams in game number 1 was 2 for 5 with 2 doubles. One of those was an RBI double. 1-0 is your count. We will not have a broadcast for you next Saturday as we got the Cougar football spring game going on. So I'll be working that game. 2-0 is the count. .3-0 now the count.
Right there, Fry. Oh, Fry.
3-1 the count to Luke Adams. Luke's a freshman from Crown Point, Indiana, 5'9", 155. Stealing second base will be Sean Luzon. Luzon now, that's his second stolen base on the season. Not sure who the, looks like Tanner Gaff now going to come in to pitch for Frymuth. Frymuth going to move to left field. Brady Harris going to come in to play third base. Take a break. We'll be right back with you with Tanner Gaff's numbers.
athlete or the parent of one, you want to check out Parkview Sports Medicine. We serve every level of athlete with our sports nutritionist, our expert physicians at O&E, and the area's only specialized athletic rehab. To learn more, go to parkviewsportsmedicine.com and click on the Services tab.
At the plate, it's Colin Affolter. On the bump, it's Tanner Gaff. 3.0 ERA. He's given up 5 hits and 4 runs scored in 6 innings pitched, 4 strikeouts, 2 walks. Opposing hitters are batting just .200 against Tanner Gaff. It's that first pitch. Is a ball. 1-0. We got runners at first and second. 2-0 now the count.
Hey, let's go, Gaff.
Pitch misses up and in. .3-0 is your count. Colin Affolter. Pitch up and in. So 4 straight pitches. Walks Affolter. Bases are loaded for Eric Kelver. Kelver, who had a solo shot in game number 1. Now on the season, he has a team high 5 home runs. That's more than any player in today's game. First pitch by Gaff. Misses low for ball 1. The 1-0 from Gaff. Hits him. So that's going to walk in a run. 5-1 your score. As Kelver gets hit by a pitch. Adams now at third base, coming home to score. That was Luzon. That's the second run of the inning for Bethel. Bethel had 2 runs in the first, 1 in the second, 2 now in the fourth. For the big first baseman, Mike Wathier. Wathier with a double and a run scored back in the first. He's 1 for 2 in this game. Grounded out to shortstop David Snyder in the third. First pitch inside to Wathier. Ball 1.
Go ahead, say it, dude. There you go. Live there, find it.
Put up, Gaff, come on.
It hit me in the nose when we were playing catch. I didn't like it.
Good pitch, Gaff.
Yeah. It hurts.
You got him 2-5.
Doesn't it hurt?
Gaff now up in the count 1-2 to Wathier. Wathier, just a sophomore. He's also a pitcher from Crown Point, Indiana. On the roster, he's listed as a pitcher, but on the stat sheet, he has not pitched this year. Caleb Keener with the best ERA on the team at 2.3 for Bethel. 2-2 is your count. to Wathier with 1 out and bases loaded.
Hey, let's go, Gaff.
Wathier in game number 1. 2 for 5, 3 runs scored, 1 RBI. Had that big home run. Harris comes home with it to get the lead runner. So Brady Harris just inserted into third base this inning. Comes up with a huge play to get the lead runner out at home. Wathier reaches first base on the fielder's choice. That brings up Mason Love. Luke Adams getting gunned out at home. Love, 1 for 1, had an RBI single back in the first, walked back in the third. First pitch swung on, popped up into left field. Frymuth underneath it for out number 3. Bethel leaves 3 stranded as we head to the bottom of the 4th inning. Pilots up 5-1 over your Cougs.
Grandpa taught me years ago, do business with people you know and who know you. That's why I joined Fort Financial Credit Union. Their staff knows I'm busy at college. They set me up with a checking account, a debit card, and an auto loan. With the Fort's mobile app, I can check balances, transfer money, and make my car payment. My grandparents loved doing business with the Fort, and I do too. My future, my family, my Fort.
Welcome to the University of St. Francis, located in the heart of Fort Wayne, Indiana, where the Cougar basketball programs have won 2 national championships and finished runner-up twice since 2010. And the Cougar football program is fresh off a 2016 national championship. USF is a 3-time gold-level Champions of Character institution, one of only 12 NAIA schools to earn that distinction. The University of St. Francis provides you the opportunity to get a great education while competing for championship. Welcome back to the Ash Center here in the bottom of the 4th inning. St. Francis down by 4, and leading off for the Cougs will be number 21, Keaton Sullivan. Keaton had the big grand slam home run. The bat's not popping like they did in game number 1. The wind's died down just a little bit, but by died down, I mean it's probably at about 18 miles an hour right now instead of upwards of 25 miles an hour.
Hey, let's go, let's get going.
Sullivan with a double in his first AB, swing and a miss at pitch number 1. Keaton Sullivan, one of 2 seniors for the Cougs. There's Keaton, along with Chandler Rivera. 1-1 your count to Sullivan. On deck, it's Jack Harris. Excuse me, we got a 1-1 count here to Sullivan. Make it 1-2. It's Andrew Boback on the bump. Keaton drills it. Left center field. It could be. It short hops the fence. Keaton missed that home run by about 10 feet. That'd have been his second of the day. Instead, that's back-to-back doubles for Keaton Sullivan. Keaton having himself a game, having himself a day here in this doubleheader. That's going to bring up Jack Harris. Harris grounded out to the first baseman, Wathier, in his first at-bat.
Come on, Jackie.
Harris swings at the first pitch, driven into right field. That's over the right fielder's head. It short hops the fence as well. RBI triple for Jack Harris. Nice piece of hit. Cougs down now, 5-2.
Nice piece, Jack.
That was nice, Jack.
St. Francis entering today, ranked number 48 in the country with 10 triples, averaging .3 triples a game. Picks up another. RBI triple by Jack Harris. That's going to bring up Justice Tussing.
Come on, 1-7. Come on, 1-7.
Yeah, I'm trying to play.
Good babe.
First pitch, ball 1 to Justice. Here with 0 outs. Cougs, just like in game number 1, battling back. Second one's going to miss low and inside. 2-0's the count to Justice.
You elevated it though, because they came right on the road.
That's what happens when you don't play outside.
Me and Butch are like that.
Should've stuck with 2. Should've stuck with 2. Should've hit it a little while. You don't have to worry about it.
Stay high, Justice. Let's go, 17.
That's from throwing all that gas.
This'll hurt from sunburn.
That's from throwing all that gas.
Gas has a hurt from sunburn. This'll hurt.
His left arm. Today's the day, bro.
Yeah! Work!
Yeah!
Nice piece of hitting by Tussing, as that's going to score Jack Harris for the 3rd run of the game for your Cougars. That'll bring up Michael McCowan. Well, excuse me, now it's Brady Harris who's playing third base. As Frymuth now is in left field. Harris playing third for the pitcher, Tanner Gaff. First pitch upstairs for ball 1. 0 outs here for the Cougs. Putting something together here in the bottom of the 4th inning. Bobeck. That ball's drilled by Harris right at the center fielder for out number 1. That'll bring the plate number 26, Matt Vollmer. Starting catcher for the Cougs. With 1 out. St. Francis only down by 2.
Home run hitter, you're pulling off. Come on.
0-1's count to Vollmer.
Hey, let's go, Vollmer.
Vollmer with a single and a run scored. Brady Harris scoring the run for him. Pinch hitting, or pinch running.
Good looks.
Counts evened up at 1 apiece.
Where you going, dude? I can't do balls like 3 to 1. Bill does it all the time.
That's why I practice that.
With a good eye by Vollmer. 2-1's the count to the catcher. Does a great job behind the plate for Coach Roberts. This ball ripped right down the third base line. Tussing going to head to third base. Tussing going to kind of come home to score. That'd be an RBI double. Oh, they throw him out at home. 2 outs now for the Cougs. Looked like Tussing had that one all the way. So Vollmer with a double ends up at third as Tussing gets thrown out at home. That'll bring to the plate David Snyder. Play at the plate. It was a bang-bang play. Ball fouled away. Counts evened up at 1 apiece. Snyder walked back in the third, grounded out in the first. David's 0 for 1 in this game.
No, I played on turf all throughout high school. I know. And I had a base run all throughout.
Pinch running for Vollmer at third base is Tony Bova. 2-1 your count. Bova, who's started a few games at second base for the Cougs. He started 23 out of the 28 games as Snyder rips that one into center field for the 4th run of the game for your Cougars. Coming home to score is Tony Bova on the RBI single by Snyder. That'll bring up Tanner Gaff, your pitcher. Tanner with an RBI single back in the third, grounded out in the first. He's 1 for 2. First pitch misses low and outside to Gaff. 1-0 is your count. Big swing by Gaff. 1-1's the count. Good stop by the catcher, number 16, Mason Love. 2-1 with 2 outs. It's David Snyder at first base. Cougars getting 3 runs back here in the bottom of the 4th. Down 5-4. St. Francis out hitting Bethel 8-6. Cougs with 1 error in this game. 3-1's the count. Excuse me. 2-2 is the count to Tanner Gaff. Miguel Tucker, first base coach, assistant coach for St. Francis, as Gaff is picked up by Laffey for out number 3. We'll head to the top of the 5th. Bethel up 5-4 over your Cougs.
Athlete or the parent of one, you want to check out Parkview Sports Medicine. We serve every level of athlete with our sports nutritionist, our expert physicians at O&E, and the area's only specialized athletic rehab. To learn more, go to parkviewsportsmedicine.com and click on the Services tab. AWP Sports finds the athlete's purpose beyond athletics, the industry leader in sports performance for over 10 years in Northeast Indiana. You can find out more by clicking on the Services tab at the top of this page.
Welcome to the University of St. Francis, located in the heart of Fort Wayne, Indiana. where the Cougar basketball programs have won 2 national championships and finished runner-up twice since 2010. And the Cougar football program is fresh off a 2016 national championship. USF is a 3-time gold-level Champions of Character institution, one of only 12 NAIA schools to earn that distinction. The University of St. Francis provides you the opportunity to get a great education while competing for champions. Welcome back here to the Ash Center here in the top of the 5th inning. Leading it off for Bethel will be Jesse Cepeda, the right fielder. Cepeda 0 for 2 in this game, grounded out to the second baseman, Justice Tussing, in his first at-bat. Gaff pitching for your Cougars. Frymuth started the game. As nice play by Tyler Prince. Flips it over to Gaff. What a web gem. 1 out. It's going to bring up Siam Laffey.
Not 50.
Laffey has walked in both of his ABs and has scored both times reaching base. First pitch to Laffey, in there for a strike. Ooh, Gaff makes a snag. He and the catcher Vollmer converging, run into each other right in front of the dugout. But once again, Gaff making a play out there on the FO1. That'll bring up Sean Luzon. What a great play there by Tanner Gaff. Pitch catches the outside corner. Gaff up in the count 0-1.
Good pitch, Gaff.
0-2 now to Sean Luzon. Gaff throwing some gas over there on the bump. That's fouled away. Tanner with 17 pitches, 8 strikes, 9 balls so far in this game. He's faced 6 batters with 4 first pitch strikes. Two hop chop over to David Snyder for out number 3. Cougs rolling here, heading into the bottom of the 5th, down 5-4 versus Bethel College.
Grandpa taught me years ago, do business with people you know and who know you. That's why I joined Fort Financial Credit Union. Their staff knows I'm busy at college. They set me up with a checking account, a debit card, and an auto loan. With the Fort's mobile app, I can check balances, transfer money, and make my car payment. My grandparents loved doing business with the Fort, and I do too. My future, my family, my Fort.
Welcome to the University of St. Francis, located in the heart of Fort Wayne, Indiana, where the Cougar basketball programs have won 2 national championships and finished runner-up twice since 2010. And the Cougar football program is fresh off a 2016 national championship. USF is a 3-time gold-level Champions of Character institution, one of only 12 NAIA schools to earn that distinction. The University of St. Francis provides you the opportunity to get a great education while competing for championship. Welcome back to the Ash Center. Bethel College up 5-4. Cougars with a strong top of the 5th inning. In the bottom of the 4th, St. Francis scoring 3 runs. Looking to keep it going here. It's going to be Noah Frymuth, the left fielder, to lead it off for St. Francis. 8 hits currently for St. Francis, 6 for Bethel. Frymuth drills that one to center field. Half-holder underneath it for out number 1. With 1 out, that'll bring up Tyler Prince. Prince with the web gem there in the top of the 5th. As he was able to dive to his right, snag a ball, flip it over to Gaff for out number 1 there in the top of the 5th. It's a great play by the freshman first baseman. One up, one down for the Cougs. First pitch is a strike here to Tyler Prince. Prince down in this count 0-2. Entering today with the best batting average on the team at 320. The leadoff hitter Luke Adams with a 330 batting average to lead all starters. Off-speed pitch is a swing and a miss. 2 outs. Your batter is Keaton Sullivan, who's probably swinging the hottest bat for St. Francis right now in this doubleheader. Keaton, your starting center fielder, is 2 for 2 with 2 doubles and a run scored. First pitch is a swing and a miss. Keaton once again in game number 1. A broken bat RBI single to go with his grand slam. How often do you see that? First time I've ever seen it. As far as the broken bat here in NAI baseball. 1-1 your count, 2 outs. Big cut. 1-2 to Sullivan. Ball in the dirt evens this count up at 2 apiece. Well, in game number 1, Josh King was the pitcher for Bethel. He had 8 strikeouts in that game. Josh King ranks number 2 in the Crossroads League, averaging 10.58 strikeouts per game. Matt Patton from Taylor ranks number 1, averaging 10.72 strikeouts per. Gavin Harris from Spring Arbor, number 3 at 10.02. Mason Shinneberry from Huntington. We saw Shinneberry twice, actually, with a 9.78 Ks per game. And Tucker Wattups from Taylor. Taylor with a strong team this year, statistically, as Sullivan rips it into left field for a 2-out single. Keaton Sullivan now 3 for 3 in this game. It's going to bring to the plate Jack Harris. Jack had an RBI triple in his last at-bat. He grounded out in his first AB back in the 2nd inning. First pitch is a strike. Jack swinging a good bat today. That pitch misses inside, 1-1 your count. In game number 1, Harris was 1 for 4 with an RBI and a run scored was Jack Harris. 1-1 with 2 outs. Ball popped up. That's down the right field line. And that's going to roll all the way to the fence. Keaton Sullivan coming home to score on the RBI double by Jack Harris. We're tied at 5. Jack Harris continues to hit the ball well to opposite field as Sullivan scores his 2nd run of the game. We're tied at 5. Cougs out hitting Bethel 10-6.
That's good hustle, Pete. Someone get that man an oxygen tank.
Justice Tussing now at the plate. So that pitch is going to miss upstairs for ball 1. On deck, it's Brady Harris. Justice is 1 for 1 in this game, had a single back in the 4th and walked in the 2nd. Justice hitting his first career home run here for St. Francis in game number 1. It was a shot halfway up into the trees in left center field. It was a shot. Of course, Keaton said his home run went further. Keaton's was more towards straightaway left field where there are no trees. Swing and a miss. Actually got a piece of that one. Good catch by the catcher. Love.
Keaton's a dog. Keaton's a dog. You're a lion.
Keaton Sullivan 2 for 5 in game number 1, so he's now 5 for 8, up in that batting average. 2-2 now the count. Two with 2 outs, off speed pitch, and that's in perfectly placed. Justice Tussing with an RBI single as the Cougars take the lead 6-5. Outstanding piece of hitting. Sat back on the off speed pitch and hit it where the Pilots were not. Justice Tussing continues his hot hitting. Your batter now is Brady Harris, third baseman. Brady popped out to center field in his first AB. Harris ropes that ball into right center field. It's going all the way to the fence. Coming home to score will be Justice Tussing as Brady Harris with an RBI triple. Cougs now up 7-5. St. Francis continuing to rise in the NEI rankings in triples. St. Francis now with 13 triples on the season. That brings up Matt Vollmer, the catcher. Vollmer also has had a hot bat as it looks like Bethel's going to go to the pen. We're going to take a break and we'll be back with you with some stats for this new pitcher. Cougs up 7-5.
P Sports finds the athlete's purpose beyond athletics, the industry leader in sports performance for over 10 years in Northeast Indiana. You can find out more by clicking on the Services tab at the top of this page.
Everything that I do can have an impact on somebody else.
You can dream any dream and you can chase any dream and you can have a chance to succeed at that dream.
We're here just a speck of time.
Given the opportunities to
be selfless.
That's what God does with us.
Not forgetting how you got here and who helped you along the way.
What are you doing for others?
Those to whom much has been given, much is expected.
If you're an athlete or the parent of one, you want to check out Parkview Sports Medicine. We serve every level of athlete with our sports nutritionist, our expert physicians at O&E, and the area's only specialized athletic rehab. To learn more, go to parkviewsportsmedicine.com.
Welcome back, everybody. The new pitcher for Bethel College is number 30, Sawyer Cass. Sawyer entering today with a 9.0 ERA, a 0-3 record on the season. In 8 innings pitched, he's given up 13 hits, 11 runs, 10 walks, 6 strikeouts. Opposing batters hitting .382 against him. That's Sawyer Cass. Still tweeting out these highlights here, as they have been aplenty. We've had back-to-back RBI at-bats. Started with Jack Harris, Justice Tussing, and then Brady Harris. Brady Harris with an RBI triple. Sawyer Cass, a sophomore, 6'1", 195, from Wooster, Ohio. He's a transfer from OSU Lima. They have a league for the directional schools in Ohio. They must play with OSU Mansfield. 2-0's count to Vollmer.
I don't know. 2-0 in the count.
Vollmer rips it right at the shortstop. Nice backhand snag there by Wathier as Luke Adams gets the assist. We head to the top of the 6th inning. Your Cougs up 7-5.
Athlete or the parent of one, you want to check out Parkview Sports Medicine. We serve every level of athlete with our sports nutritionist, our expert physicians at O&E, and the area's only specialized athletic rehab. To learn more, go to parkviewsportsmedicine.com and click on the Services tab.
University of St. Francis with 3 triples on the day. Outstanding. Here in the top of the 6th inning, leading off for Bethel is going to be the left fielder, Andrew Miranda. First pitch is a swing and a miss. Miranda is 0 for 1 in this game, had a sacrifice fly that scored Sean Luzon back in the 4th.
Go, Gaff.
1-1 your count. Tanner Gaff pitching well here for St. Francis. Two ones to count. Gaff, the big righty, misses high and outside, 3-1. Gaff with 22 total pitches, 12 strikes, 10 walks, averaging 3.1 pitches per batter faced. Leadoff batter is aboard. That'll bring to the plate Luke Adams, the leadoff hitter. Adams, the freshman, wearing number 27. Adams 2 for 2 in this game with a walk. He had a single and scored a run back in the first inning. He scored in the first inning of both games today from his leadoff position. 1-0 is your count. Tanner Gaff with some gas on that pitch. Assistant coach Dustin Butcher out on the mound to talk with his pitcher and catcher, Ballmer and Tanner Gaff. Temperature's gone down just a bit as the sun's gone down.
Let's go, 2-5.
Currently, it says it's 76 degrees. But we'll update that. It's now 79 degrees. So it was, or excuse me, 69 degrees. It was 75. 1-1 your count. Luke Adams. Miranda gets back to first base.
Let's go, Gaff.
The 1-1 to Adams. It's going to be fouled out of play.
Good effort, 5.
This is one of 3 diamonds here at the Ash Center. So you do have to keep your head on a swivel for foul balls coming from other fields. The 1-2. Adams rips that ball into right field. That gets past Jack Harris. Coming home to score will be Andrew Miranda. I think that'll be an RBI single with an E9. That brings the plate number 7, Colin Affolter.
I couldn't agree more with that, Tony.
That's the 7th hit of the game for Bethel. Cougars with 12 hits. First pitch is in there for a strike. To Affolter, the center fielder. He's 0 for 2 in this game. He walked back in the 4th inning. Did Affolter. Counts evened up at 1 apiece. Gaff, the big righty. That one's fouled off. Up in this count, 1-2.
The other one, some kid just got out of from Bethel. I was like, I'm not doing that either.
1-2 the count. Ball misses down low. 2-2. On deck, it's Eric Kelver. Kelver 0 for 2 in this game. Was hit by a pitch in his last AB. Affolter, Kelver, and Wathier all hit home runs in game number 1.
It's a dilemma. Oh, you know about this story. Forget the game. Keep talking.
Cougars trying to hold on to this lead here. With a runner at third. As Tanner Gaff gets him looking for out number one. Brings up Eric Kelver. For Tanner Gaff, that's his first strikeout of the game. Gaff's given up only 1 hit, 2 walks, 1 run, in 1.2 innings pitched. First one's fouled off. Gaff doing a great job here with 6 first pitch strikes against 9 batters. That one's popped up into shallow left center field. Frymuth cannot make the grab. So that will be an RBI double for Eric Culver as they tie this game up at 7. Bethel, their 8th hit of the game. That'll bring to the plate the big man, Mike Wathier. Wathier 1 for 2 in this game, had a double and a run scored back in the first inning. Grounded out to the shortstop, David Snyder, back in the 3rd, and reached on a fielder's choice back in the 4th. That ball's ripped right at Justice Tussing for out number 2.
17.
That'll bring to the plate the catcher, number 16, Mason Love. Love 1 for 2 in this game, had an RBI single back in the 1st, walked in the 3rd, and flew out to the left fielder, Noah Frymuth. First pitch is in there for ball 1. St. Francis trying to keep Kelver at second base to get this 3rd out. We're tied up at 7s. Love went down to foul that one. Out of play. 1-1 your count.
Nobody.
1-2 now the count after back-to-back foul balls. Tanner Gaff entering today with 4 strikeouts under his belt. He's already picked up 1 in 2 innings worth of pitching. Gaff 2.1 innings pitched, 12 batters faced, 8 first pitch strike. Nice block there by Vollmer. Doing a great job behind the plate as usual. Gaff with 41 pitches under his belt, 23 strikes, 18 balls.
Go, Gaff.
Swing and a miss. Vollmer had it all the way. We're tied at 7 heading into the bottom of the 6th inning here at the Ash Center. Cougars coming to bat.
Grandpa taught me years ago, do business with people you know and who know you. That's why I joined Fort Financial Credit Union. Their staff knows I'm busy at college. They set me up with a checking account, a debit card, and an auto loan. With the Fort's mobile app, I can check balances, transfer money, and make my car payment. My grandparents loved doing business with the Fort, and I do too. My future, my family, my Fort.
Welcome to the University of St. Francis, located in the heart of Fort Wayne, Indiana. where the Cougar basketball programs have won 2 national championships and finished runner-up twice since 2010. And the Cougar football program is fresh off a 2016 national championship. USF is a 3-time gold-level Champions of Character institution, one of only 12 NAIA schools to earn that distinction. The University of St. Francis provides you the opportunity to get a great education while competing for championship. Leading off for St. Francis here in the top of the 6th inning is going to be the leadoff hitter, David Snyder. He had a big RBI single back in the 4th inning. Snyder 1 for 2 in this game. He also walked back in the 3rd. On deck will be the pitcher, Tanner Gaff. Still on the bump for Bethel is number 30, Sawyer Cass. Snyder entering today's game with a .253 batting average. Gets hit in the elbow without his elbow guard on. So the leadoff batter is aboard. With 0 outs, man on first. Snyder getting hit in the funny bone over there. Kind of had a weird look on his face. Like it just hit one of those nerves and it just kind of stings your whole arm. Yeeks. That was the left arm. He normally wears a elbow guard. He's wiggling it out there. So Gaff coming up to the plate. Gaff had an RBI single back in the 3rd. He's 1 for 3 in this game. Tanner trying to help his own cause here as we're tied up at 7 in the bottom of the 6th. First pitch to Gaff, misses low. 1-0 is the count. Gaff entering today with 2 home runs under his belt and 18 RBI. Already had an RBI here in this game, so that'll add to that total. Snyder back at first easily. One 1-0 is the count. Ball in the dirt, 2-0 now to Tanner Gaff. Gaff, game number 1, 0 for 3, but did score a run. So he's got 19 RBI on the season right now. Another arm up in the bullpen for Bethel. Brandon Beaushaw, senior pitcher from Croswell, Michigan. 6 foot, 150 pounds, the lefty. 3-0 is your count to Tanner Gaff. Snyder's off and running, and that'll be a stolen base for David Snyder. Snyder entering today with 1 stolen base under his belt. Picks up another. Guess that wouldn't be a stolen base when Gaff walks. Runners at first and second for Noah Frymuth. Noah's 0 for 3 in this game with 2 strikeouts. Flew out to center field in his last AB back in the 5th. Snyder's getting checked out. So Tanner Gaff, the pitcher at first base, Snyder, shortstop at second base. for Noah Frymuth, starting left fielder. Actually started this game at pitcher, but now playing left field.
Come on, Fry guys. Come on, 3-3.
Frymuth brings a lot of power to the plate. So the temperature has gone down 6 degrees from 75 to 69. We'll see what the wind's listed at. 1-0 is your count to Frymuth with 0 outs. Once again for St. Francis, the bottom of the order really getting it done. Today it's Jack Harris, Justice Tussing, Brady Harris, Matt Vollmer, all getting it done at the dish. Keaton Sullivan with 2 runs scored in this game. Harris with 2 runs scored, Jack Harris. Frymuth down the count, 1-2.
Got a battle here, Fry. Got a battle. Let's go, threes. Come on, Red Rocket.
Winds died down to 12 mile an hour. Was up to 25 miles an hour earlier today in game number 1. That's a game that saw 5 home runs, 3 for Bethel and 2 for St. Francis. Entering today, Bethel with 20 home runs as a team, St. Francis with 10. 1 and 2 still your count with 0 outs. Runners at first and second base. It's Frymuth at the dish.
Hey, battle, Fry. Don't let him in. Come on, let's go, baby. Come on, 3-3.
Frymuth drills it. Hit into deep center field. Affolter's got it right on the warning track. So Snyder will have to stay at second. Gaff goes back to first. 1 out. That's about as far as you can hit that ball at this ballpark. That was dead center field. Your batter now is Tyler Prince. Prince 0 for 3 in this game. Struck out in his last 2 at-bats. Grounded out in his first at-bat to the second baseman, Laffey. Off-speed pitch is a swing and a miss.
Refocus, Tyler. Refocus here. Refocus.
0-1 with 1 out. Runners at first and second. Faulkner out of Alabama's #1 ranked team in NAIA with a 33-3 overall record. 18 first place votes. Georgia Gwinnett, ranked #2 in the country. Pitch up and in. Counts evened up at 1 apiece. Southeastern out of Florida, Lewis Clark State out of Idaho, and St. Thomas out of Florida round out your top 5.
That is? Damn, I thought it was like a small red ball.
Prince pops straight up. Wathier underneath it.
Let me see. You look. Go, Sully.
2 outs. Runner still at first and second for the hot hitting Keaton Sullivan. Keaton with 2 doubles and a single, 2 runs scored. He's 3 for 3 in this game. Keaton's 5 for 8 on the day as we are in game number 2 of our doubleheader. Pinch runner, it's Tony Bova coming in to run for Gaff as Gaff gets ready to go back out on the mound. It's Sawyer Cass, the sophomore, on the mound. for the Bethel Pilots. Sullivan pops this one up into left field for out number 3. We head to the top of the 7th. We are tied at 7. 7's on the board.
P Sports finds the athlete's purpose beyond athletics. The industry leader in sports performance for over 10 years in Northeast Indiana. You can find out more by clicking on the Services tab at the top of this page.
Everything that I do can have an impact on somebody else.
You can dream any dream and you can chase any dream, and you can have a chance to succeed at that dream.
We're here just a speck of time.
Given the opportunities to be selfless.
That's what God does with us.
Not forgetting how you got here and who helped you along the way.
What are you doing for others?
Those to whom much has been given, much is expected.
If you're an athlete or the parent of one, you want to check out Parkview Sports Medicine. We serve every level of athlete with our sports nutritionist, our expert physicians at O&E, and the area's only specialized athletic rehab. To learn more, go to parkviewsportsmedicine.com.
Welcome back here to the Ash Center. We are in the top of the 7th inning. We are tied at 7s. Leading it off for Bethel College will be Jesse Cepeda, the right fielder. He also led off the 5th inning. That was a 1-2-3 inning for your Cougars.
Right there, Sully, right there. That's good.
Keaton Sullivan playing about 30 feet in front of the fence in the center field. Maybe 25 feet. First pitch to Cepeda. And it's fouled off.
Oh, baby!
All right, call it out. Come on, lady. Hey, we got to talk.
Yeah.
St. Francis, 12 hits, 2 errors, 7 runs. Bethel, 7 runs, 8 hits, 0 errors.
Dude, 777's on the board, baby. Nice. That's all for you, Dane.
0-1.
No, dude.
Nice stop by Vollmer.
777.
1-1's your count. Ball popped up. Chasing after it, Snyder. Coming in, it's Frymuth, as it's going to fall for a leadoff double by Jesse Cepeda. 9th hit of the game here for Bethel College. Hit it in the perfect spot there. It's going to bring to the plate Sam Laffey. Laffey 0 for 1 in this game with 2 walks and 2 runs scored. First pitch strike on the fake bunt. Brady Harris guarding the line at third base. Prince about 5 feet into the grass at first. Laffey down in this count 0-2. Prince now evened up with the bag at first base. Harris behind the bag at third. Pitch misses low, 1-2 your count. Jack Harris playing true out in right field. Sullivan and Frymuth a little bit to the left. 1-2 is the count. Laffey fouls it off. Remains at 1-2.
Hey, let's go, Gaff.
St. Francis still has a series with Marion and Taylor to go. Taylor in third place in the Crossroads League. They have a 29-10 overall record, 9-5 in conference play. Marion's 12-20 overall, 6-8 in conference play. 2-2 is your count. Another one fouled off the backstop. Big lead by Zepeda at second. Ooh. Laffey gets hit in the back of the helmet. So on the 2-2, Laffey will take first base after the hit by a pitch. So we got a force out at any base for number 12, Sean Luzon.
There you go, Gaff. You're good, baby. Come on now. There we go.
Prince and Harris playing in the grass. Bunt right back at Gaff. Goes straight to third with it and gets the force out. Beautiful play by Tanner Gaff. Luzon will reach first base on the fielder's choice. One out for Andrew Miranda. Gaff doing a great job fielding his position. Once again, force out at any base. Miranda 0 for 1 in this game. Had a sacrifice fly back in the fourth. Walked and scored a run back in the sixth. 1-0 the count. Sevens up on the scoreboard. Lucky number 7. 2-0's the count. It's Laffey at second base. Luzon at first. There is some speed on the base pass. Pitch misses outside. 3-0's your count. Brady Harris going to come in, chat it up with Tanner Gaff. The 3-0 here to Miranda. Miranda scored his only run back in the 6th inning. 3-1 the count now. Infield.
There we go.
That's Justice Tussing catching it right on the edge of the infield. 2 outs for the leadoff batter, Luke Adams. Adams with an RBI single back in the 6th inning. He is 3 for 3 in this game.
Hey, Jackie, 2 large to glove side. Sully.
Move. One large.
Good pitch, Gaff. Way to work ahead.
Bethel with 7 players left on base. 0-1's your count to Adams. Counts 1-1 with 2 outs. Bethel trying not to leave these runners stranded. Beautiful pitch by Gaff right down the pipe. 1-2 now your count.
There you go, Tanner.
That pitch will miss low and outside. Counts evened up at 2 apiece. St. Francis will travel to Mount Vernon this Monday before hosting Spring Arbor on Tuesday here at the Ash Center. Expecting a lot of rain tomorrow and Sunday, and then I think on Wednesday we're expecting some rain. Two balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. So we got 2s and 7s on the board. Gaff. That ball is ripped right up the gut. Laffey going to come home to score on the RBI single. Good piece of hitting by Luke Adams. Now 4 for 4 in this game. Scoring on the play was Laffey. He's got 3 runs scored in this game. Luzon now at second base. Your batter is Colin Affolter. Affolter 1 for 3 with a walk in this game. First pitch misses for ball 1. For Bethel, just their 9th hit of the game. Cougars with 12. Nope, that was the 10th hit of the game for Bethel. Excuse me. That ball hits slowly to Snyder, flips it over to Tussing for out number 3. Cougs enter the bottom of the 7th, down by 1. One last chance to pull off the sweep here against the Pilots.
Grandpa taught me years ago, do business with people you know and who know you. That's why I joined Fort Financial Credit Union. Their staff knows I'm busy at college. They set me up with a checking account, a debit card, and an auto loan. With the Fort's mobile app, I can check balances, transfer money, and make my car payment. My grandparents loved doing business with the Fort, and I do too. My future, my family, my Fort.
Welcome to the University of St. Francis, located in the heart of Fort Wayne, Indiana, where the Cougar basketball programs have won 2 national championships and finished runner-up twice since 2010. And the Cougar football program is fresh off a 2016 national championship. USF is a 3-time gold-level Champions of Character institution, one of only 12 NAIA schools to earn that distinction. The University of St. Francis provides you the opportunity to get a great education while competing for championship. Welcome back to the bottom of the 7th inning. Bethel got 1 run there in the top of the 7th after the RBI single by Luke Adams scored CM Laffey. St. Francis will lead it off with Jack Harris, then Justice Tussing and Brady Harris. This has been a strong part of the order all day long for St. Francis. Jack Harris enters 2 for 3 at the plate with 2 RBI and 2 runs scored. Not a bad day here for the starting right fielder, Jack Harris, sophomore from Fort Wayne, Indiana, Bishop Dwenger High School. Bishop Dwenger, who's won 3 of the last 4 Summit Athletic Conference championships. Takes that first pitch for ball 1. Pitch is drilled, and it'll fall for a leadoff single for Jack Harris. That brings to the plate Justice Tussing. Tussing is 2 for 2 in this game with an RBI and a run scored back in the 5th inning. Justice had a home run in game number 1. A home run here would seal it for the Cougs. First pitch to Tussing, low for ball 1. Tussing up in this count now, 2-0. There is an arm up in the bullpen for Bethel. Number 33 is out there, Corey Goodrich, along with Brandon Beaushaw. Sawyer Cass on the bump currently for the Pilots. Down in this count now, 3-0. As that one was a tough one to grab for the catcher, Mason Love. Harris back easily. Runners at first and second. After the walk to Tussing, brings up Brady Harris. Brady's 1 for 2 in this game, popped out to center field and had the RBI triple. St. Francis with 3 triples today to raise their season total to 13 triples on the season. So they'll climb up the national rankings, entering today ranked number 50 in the country with all them triples. So they're going to bring in the relief pitcher. It's going to be the lefty, Brandon Beaushaw. 6 foot, 150 from Croswell, Michigan. We'll take a break and be back with you for his statistics.
WP Sports finds the athlete's purpose beyond athletics. The industry leader in sports performance for over 10 years in Northeast Indiana. You can find out more by clicking on the Services tab at the top of this page.
Everything that I do can have an impact on somebody else.
You can dream any dream and you can chase any dream and you can have a chance to succeed at that dream.
We're here just a speck of time.
Given the opportunities to be selfless.
That's what God does with us.
Not forgetting how you got here and who helped you along the way.
What are you doing for others?
Those to whom much has been given, much is expected.
If you're an athlete or the parent of one, you want to check out Parkview Sports Medicine. We serve every level of athlete with our sports nutritionist, our expert physicians at ONE, and the area's only specialized athletic rehab. To learn more, go to parkviewsportsmedicine.com.
Welcome back, everybody. The pitcher is number 10, Brandon Beaushaw, entering today with a 5.88 ERA in 26 innings pitched. He's given up 36 hits, 28 runs. Just 17 of those are earned. 13 walks, 18 strikeouts. Opposing batters hitting 33 against Beauchal. First batter to see Beauchal will be Brady Harris. 0 outs, runners at first and second. Cougars looking for a sweep here of the Pilots.
I bet you did. I didn't put it up there. One, there's more right. And two, that comes in there.
Looking at the Pilots, they got a series with Huntington and Marion left on their schedule, along with 2 more games against Grace. Grace College in 9th place in the Crossroads League. Grace did lose to Bethel 6-2 back on April the 10th. Or excuse me, Grace won that game 6-2. Bethel bounced back a day later, beating Goshen this past Wednesday 12-8. So next week, they'll play a doubleheader with Grace. And then we'll travel to Huntington on Friday, and then travel to Huntington on Saturday for a doubleheader with the Foresters. That beautiful field in Huntington.
Oh my gosh, how was it?
Cougars and Taylor, the only facilities in Indiana, NAIA-wise, that have artificial surfaces. Taylor installed theirs about 3 years ago. It's the first pitch to Brady Harris. Harris lays down the bunt.
It wasn't me.
Goes foul. 0-1 your count.
He's just a person, you know. I'm only one man.
Let's go, Brady.
So Coach Roberts going to pull Harris. For a quick meeting. Well, Harris laid down another bunt. Charging was Wathier along with the third baseman, Eric Kelver. It's Jack Harris at second base, Justice Tussing at first. Wathier. And they nearly had Jack Harris at second. Bad throw by Beauchal, ends up in center field. So Beauchal had him.
We know they're tricky.
Just couldn't get the throw right. Nobody holding on Harris at second. Wathier once again charging, looking for the bunt. Third baseman Kelver right at the bag as Brady Harris pulls back the bunt attempt. 1-1 your count. Wathier once again right in line with the pitcher. Bump goes straight up in the air. Easy play for the catcher for out number 1. One out. Your batter is the catcher, Matt Vollmer. Vollmer 2 for 3 in this game with a single and a double. 2 runs scored, one by Harris and one by Bova. His pinch, or courtesy runners, I should say. Beauchal, the lefty, out of the stretch. Swing and a miss by Vollmer. 0-1 your count.
Let's go, 2-6.
Hitting the outfield could score Harris from second. Jack's got some wheels That ball is going to be fouled out of play. 0-2 the count to Vollmer.
Battle, Bo, battle. Come on, Vollmer. Here we go, ball.
Let's go, 2-6. Why not? Here you go, ball. Here you go, ball.
Vollmer right at Laffey. And safe at first base is going to be Vollmer. That was the shortstop, Luke Adams.
That's a great call. Good hustle, Vollmer. That's not a bad call.
So Vollmer reaches on the fielder's choice. Out at second was Tussing on the 4-6. That brings to plate David Snyder, the leadoff batter. Last chance for the Cougs, down by 1. Tony Bova now to run for Vollmer.
You suck.
And then he got thrown out. He's like,
yeah, you got thrown out. More than what they do. Okay. You say again next time.
Snyder
You go, Dave.
had an RBI single back in the 4th.
Let's go, Snyder.
Drew a walk and stole a base back in the 6th. Jack Harris now at third base. Runners on the corners. 1-0 is your count. Tony Bova at first base with 2 outs. Snyder with a big cut. 1-1.
Just like last time, back to the middle.
Snyder 1 for 3 in game number 1. Once again, playing great at shortstop. The 1-1 to Snyder. Excuse me, counts 2-2 now. Snyder 1 for 2 with an RBI and a walk here in game number 2. Keaton Sullivan 3 for 4. Jack Harris 3 for 4. As Bova's going to steal second.
Hey, Message scores 2 now. Let's go.
Come on, Dave.
Runners at second and third with 2 outs here for Snyder. Full count. We'll see if Beauchamp is going to give him anything to hit here. Off speed pitch, drilled down the left field line. Harris comes home to score. Bova comes home to score. 2 RBI double for David Snyder. Outstanding piece of hitting.
Keep rolling.
All right, so this will be the 9-inning game. Huge hit. Harris, Bova scoring all the way from second. Your batter now is Tanner Gaff. Gaff takes that first pitch up high for ball 1.
Where's Kate?
hey, was that last week a ball right? 1-0 right now. Are you going off the scoreboard? That's a bad choice.
1-1 your count. What a great hit there by David Snyder right down the third base line.
Yeah, Chandler went. Chandler went.
Gaff drills that ball into left field. Snyder coming home to score from second. Throw is not in time. Gaff with an RBI double. Cougs go up now as Gaff is out at third. Cougs up, though, 10-8. We'll head to the top of the 8th inning here from the Ash Center.
Athlete or the parent of one, you want to check out Parkview Sports Medicine. We serve every level of athlete with our sports nutritionist, our expert physicians at O&E, and the area's only specialized athletic rehab. To learn more, go to parkviewsportsmedicine.com and click on the Services tab.
Let us loose. What did you say? DK said let us loose.
Welcome back, everyone. It's going to be Eric Kelver to lead it off for Bethel here in the 8th inning. A lot going on there in the bottom of the 7th. Tanner Gaff with the RBI single that scored David Snyder. Before that, Snyder with the 2 RBI single. No, David's was a double as well. Outstanding work here by the Cougs, trying to pull off the sweep. Won game number 1, 12-10.
Here we go, Tanner! Go get me!
So Kelver coming up to the dish, the third baseman. Kelver is 1 for 3 with 2 RBI in this game. Down in this count, 0-1. Second pitch gets away from Ballmer. 1-1's your count. Cougars down pretty much this whole game.
Hey, one more gas, sit him down. Oh, what? Your best right here, kid. Come on out.
St. Francis took the lead in the 5th, 7-5. Bethel took back the lead in the 7th, 8-7, before the Cougars put up the 3 spot. Cougars have scored 3 runs in the 4th, the 5th, and the 7th innings in today's game. Tanner Gaff up 1-2 in this count. That ball ripped. Snyder nearly caught up to it. So leadoff single for Bethel. That brings up Mike Wathier.
Your way last time. Justice. Line drive to you. Right there, Mug. Come on, Mike.
Wathier 1 for 4 with 1 run scored and 1 RBI here in game number 2. This ball drilled into left field. Back-to-back singles for Bethel. Wathier jumping on that first pitch. It's going to bring up Mason Love, the catcher. Love one for 3 in this game with a walk and a strikeout. Gaff from the stretch. Off speed pitch is fouled away. Zero and 1 your count to Love. Ballmer doing a good job keeping that ball in front of him. We got runners at first and second. Good looking pitch. Called a ball. Two on your count.
Hey, on your toes, here we go.
Nice flip by Tussing over to Snyder. Throw to Prince. A little bit low. So we got runners at first and third now as Love reaches on the fielder's choice. Jesse Cepeda, now your batter.
Hey, get it out. He steals, get it out. Justice, you hear me? Get it out. He steals. Bravo! Yep. Come on, Jesse.
Cepeda had a double in his last at-bat. As Gaff is keeping Love close to first. Cepeda 1 for 4 in this game. Gaff, the double pickoff move. One of my favorite pitchers growing up was Blackjack McDowell. He had a great pickoff move. Oh for 1 on 1's your count. Counts evened up at 1 apiece.
Here you go, Gaff. Here we go, baby. Hey, let's go, Gaff.
Here goes your 5. There you go.
Ooh, another good-looking pitch just on the inside. Gaff with 4 innings pitched under his belt, 77 total pitches, 46 strikes, 31 balls. 17 first pitch strikes to 22 batters faced. 2 and 1 your count as that ball is ripped. And Love makes it all the way to third base. Brady Harris with the tag there. Looked good.
Sir, what are you looking at?
Kelver comes home to score on the RBI single by Zepeda. That brings up CM Leffy. It's a courtesy runner on third base. That's Seth Kermode. We got runners at the corners now. Bethel pulls within one, down 10-9. Just one out here in the top of the 8th. Gaff misses inside to Laffey. 1-0 is your count. This ball hit into left field. That'll score the courtesy runner, Kermode. And it gets past Frymuth. Laffey's going to hold up at third, but Zepeda also comes home to score. So that's an RBI single with an E7. Brings up Sean Luzon. Bethel takes back the lead, up 11-10. Bethel with 14 hits, St. Francis with 15. Cougars now with 3 errors. Another one ripped. It's going to be an RBI single for Luzon. Bethel getting hot here. Laffey comes home to score. Both teams now with 15 hits. Bethel takes the lead, 12-10. So Coach Roberts coming out. Looks like he's going to make a pitching change. We'll be right back with you with the stats for our new pitcher.
Grandpa taught me years ago, do business with people you know and who know you. That's why I joined Fort Financial Credit Union. Their staff knows I'm busy at college. They set me up with a checking account, a debit card, and an auto loan. With the Fort's mobile app, I can check balances, transfer money, and make my car payment. My grandparents loved doing business with the Fort, and I do too. My future, my family, my Fort.
Welcome to the University of St. Francis, located in the heart of Fort Wayne, Indiana, where the Cougar basketball programs have won 2 national championships and finished runner-up twice since 2010. And the Cougar football program is fresh off a 2016 national championship. USF is a 3-time gold-level Champions of Character institution, one of only 12 NAIA schools to earn that distinction. The University of St. Francis provides you the opportunity to get a great education while competing for championship. New pitcher for St. Francis is number 16, Kyle Zabarski, 6'2", 210-pound junior from Willoughby, Ohio. He pitched .1 innings in game number 2 with 3 total pitches, 2 strikes and 1 ball. His first pitch was a ball, then followed that up with 2 strikes. Rivera getting the win there in game number 1. First batter he'll face is Andrew Miranda, the left fielder.
Go 16.
Zabarski, the third pitcher for the Cougs in this game. St. Francis pitching 3 in game number 1 as well. Miranda 0 for 2 in this game with 1 run, 1 RBI, and 1 walk. He had a sacrifice fly back in the fourth. Bethel up 12-10 with a runner at first base. That runner is Sean Luzon, who has a stolen base in this game. First pitch, ball one. Zabarski goes over to first. Luzon back easily.
Come on, 16.
Pitch fouled out of play. One and one your count to the number 9 hitter, Miranda. Luzon with a large lead at first.
Thank you. You'll have to have a mask.
2 and 1 your count. Zabarski. 3-1.
3-1's a count, whoever's on the score.
Luzon, another large lead at first base.
I missed it.
Pitch off the backstop. Ball hit right at Snyder. Flips it over to Tussing. And good job by the lead runner there, Luzon, getting in the way. 2 gone. Miranda at first base for the leadoff hitter, Luke Adams.
Let's go, Z-Bar.
Adams is 4 for 4 with 2 runs scored, 1 RBI, and 1 walk. Having himself a day. Adams in game number 1 was 2 for 5 with 2 runs and an RBI. Had 1 strikeout in that one. First pitch strike by Zabarski. 0-1 your count with 2 outs.
More. Charlie, more.
There you go.
0-2's the count.
Z-Bar. Get him here. Here you go, one, Jake.
Big swing and a miss. Zabarski with his first strikeout of the game. We'll head to the bottom of the 8th. Cougs down 12-2. 12-10, excuse me.
Athlete or the parent of one, you want to check out Parkview Sports Medicine. We serve every level of athlete with our sports nutritionist, our expert physicians at O&E, and the area's only specialized athletic rehab. To learn more, go to parkviewsportsmedicine.com and click on the Services tab.
Welcome back, everyone. Noah Frymuth going to lead it off for St. Francis here in the bottom of the 8th. Frymuth, the left fielder, started this game on the bump for the Cougars.
Oh, yeah. That's like, okay, Seabar. I might have to. I know. I'm 8th in the order. I had 3 in that one game.
Frymuth, Tyler Prince, and Keaton Sullivan. Sounds like a run to me. Top 3 here for the Cougars. Looking at some of the highs in the Crossroads League, Marion allowed 4 home runs in a game against Selma back on March the 7th. Goshen gave up 3 triples to Concordia out of Michigan back on February the 18th. Spring Arbor gave up 23 hits at Kaiser. Indiana Wesleyan struck out 18 in a game versus Bethel out of Tennessee back on February the 23rd. Cougars gave up 21 earned runs at Indiana Tech. Bethel gave up 22 runs total versus Siena Heights back on March the 6th. That first pitch is going to be a ball. To Noah Frymuth. 1-1's your count. Frymuth drills that ball. And it's gone. A solo home run for Noah Frymuth as the Cougars pull within 1, down 12-11. Frymuth with a huge hit. He was 0 for 4 before that big home run by Noah Frymuth. Brings to the plate Tyler Prince. First pitch to Prince, fouled off, backstop. 0-1 your count.
I just sat in water. Can you tell? Can you tell I just sat in water, Dan? No. You're gonna make fun of me. I could have made that shit, bro.
Prince drilled right at Kelver. Comes up firing for out number 1. Brings to the plate Keaton Sullivan. Keaton, who's 3 for 4 in this game. 2 doubles, a single, and 2 runs scored. How about Noah Frymuth and that big home run? First pitch is strike to Sullivan. Keaton was 2 for 4 with 2 runs scored and 5 RBI in game number 1. So he's Keaton 5 for 8 on the day. With 5 RBI. 4 runs scored. What a day for Keaton Sullivan. 1 and 2's your count. With 1 out, Sullivan off the backstop. On deck, it's Jack Harris. Jack's also 3 for 4 in this game, swinging a hot bat. Jack, the right fielder, Coach Roberts. Frymuth's home run, and the winds died down about 10 miles an hour since the start of game number 1. Actually, about 15 miles an hour. Wind currently at about 10 mile an hour, but down here on the field, you can hardly even feel it. As Keaton goes down looking for out number 2.
I'm in the hole.
2 outs. Your batter's Jack Harris. Jack due for a home run here. 0 home runs on the season, but swinging a hot bat today. First pitch in the dirt.
Hey, is that okay? I can't see him. There's a wall of people.
Too hot as
Too hot to handle.
that's going to be an E4.
Stay hot, 17.
Let's go. He's sick, bro.
So for Laffey, 1 error in game 1 and 1 error in game 2. That holds true this year.
You want some BGs?
Laffey entering today, he basically averages an error a game. Keeping up with it. Your batter now is Justice Tussing. Tussing also hot today. Takes that first pitch for ball 1. Tussing 2 for 2 with an RBI single back in the 5th inning. He's walked twice in this game as well.
Should have pitchers BP yesterday.
2 for 2, 1 run scored, 2 RBI, 2 walks for Tussing here in game number 2. In game number 1, he was 2 for 4 with 2 runs, 2 RBI. Slow roller. Kelver comes up firing and gets him for out number 3. We head to the top of the 9th. Bethel's up 12-11.
UP Sports finds the athlete's purpose beyond athletics, the industry leader in sports performance for over 10 years in Northeast Indiana. You can find out more by clicking on the Services tab at the top of this page.
Everything that I do can have an impact on somebody else.
You can dream any dream and you can chase any dream, and you can have a chance to succeed at that dream.
We're here just a speck of time.
Given the opportunities to be selfless,
That's what God does with us.
Not forgetting how you got here and who helped you along the way.
What are you doing for others?
Those to whom much has been given, much is expected.
If you're an athlete or the parent of one, you want to check out Parkview Sports Medicine. We serve every level of athlete with our sports nutritionist, our expert physicians at O&E, and the area's only specialized athletic rehab. To learn more, go to parkviewsportsmedicine.com.
Leading off for Bethel here in the top of the 9th inning will be Colin Affolter, center fielder.
Good Huss, good Huss. Just hard.
Affolter 1 for 4 with 1 walk and 1 strikeout in this game.
Hey, let's go, D-Bar.
First pitch, up in the zone, ball 1.
Let's go, Z-Bar!
Second pitch by Zabarski is a ball. 2-0's the count.
Where's the charger?
I got a bed, James. Got a bed.
2-1 now your count. Bethel with a new pitcher. That was Corey Goodrich last inning, the sophomore from Huntington, Indiana, Huntington North High School. Counts evened up at 2 apiece.
Hey, let's go, Z-Bar.
Zabarski the 2-2 in the dirt. Full count to Colin Affolter.
Come on, Steve. Hey, let's go, Z-Bar.
This broadcast now 3 hours and 23 minutes long. Facebook will cut you off at 4 hours.
Oh, boo! Better than that, Eli. He's not going to show his face.
Hey,
Eli, I'm not buying this
scoreboard.
of you being a third baseman.
Dude, I have a glove. That's gloved.
I was gonna give you the air sign scoreboard.
No, she didn't get any.
12-11. Bethel on top here. That ball is drilled into right center field. It's going to roll all the way to the fence. That's going to be a triple. A lot of triples on this field. That's a leadoff triple by Colin Affolter as the Bethel dugout goes wild. For Bethel, that's their 16th hit. Both teams now with 16 hits. Your batter's number 11, Eric Kelver.
Come on, Steve.
Kelver 2 for 4 with 2 RBI and 1 run scored in this game. Nice grab by Tyler Prince for out number 1. Brings to the plate Mike Wathier.
Yeah, stare him down, Z's. We love to see it.
Come on, 1-6. What do you say, Kyle?
First pitch misses low to Wathier.
Come on now.
1-0 is your count. Wathier hit on the right leg, so now we have runners at first and third with 1 out. Brings up Mason Love.
Hey, a lot of confidence here.
Yeah, but. Yeah, it's going to have to go to It's hard hit. No, it's going to have to go to Tussin. Yeah.
Love 1 for 4, 1 run scored, 1 walk, 1 strikeout in this game. The catcher. First pitch misses low. 1-0 is your count. Second pitch fouled out of play.
Hey, let's go, Z-Ball.
We're evened up at 1 apiece. That's Kyle Zabarski on the bump. New arm up in the bullpen for Bethel. A lot of runs scored today between these two teams.
Hey, work through it. Work through it, 1-6.
Yeah, I didn't. You didn't.
45 runs total today so far.
Hey, don't overthrow, Z-Ball.
3-1 now your count to Mason Love. The last game Bethel played in was a 12-8 win over Goshen, but before that, they had not reached double digits since March 14th against IU Kokomo.
That's fine. That's okay. Hey, Fred. We got 2. We got 2.
2 outs now as Zabarski was able to get Love out at first. Runners at second and third for Jesse Cepeda.
Here we go, baby. Come on.
Top. Top.
Cepeda 2 for 5 with 1 run scored and 1 RBI in this game.
Let's go, Z-Ball. Stay calm.
His team up 12-11. Bethel led off the inning with a triple They don't want to leave Affolter stranded at third. First pitch is a strike. Zabarski battling here for the Cougs. Pitch right down the pipe, hit up the gut. 2 runs going to come home to score on the RBI single by Jesse Cepeda. 2 RBI. Wathier scored the second run. Affolter scoring the first. Bethel up 14-11. Bethel now with 17 hits and 1 error. Cougs 16 hits, 3 errors. First pitch ball to Siem Laffy. Swing and a miss. We're evened up at 1 apiece.
Hey, let's go, Z-Bar.
Zabarski from the stretch. Laffy in shallow right field. Harris underneath it for out number 3. We head to the bottom of the 9th. Cougars down by 3, 14-11. Last chance for the good guys.
Grandpa taught me years ago, do business with people you know and who know you. That's why I joined Fort Financial Credit Union. Their staff knows I'm busy at college. They set me up with a checking account, a debit card, and an auto loan. With the Fort's mobile app, I can check balances, transfer money, and make my car payment. My grandparents loved doing business with the Fort, and I do too. My future, my family, my Fort.
Welcome to the University of St. Francis, located in the heart of Fort Wayne, Indiana, where the Cougar basketball programs have won 2 national championships and finished runner-up twice since 2010. And the Cougar football program is fresh off a 2016 national championship. USF is a 3-time gold-level Champions of Character institution, one of only 12 NAIA schools to earn that distinction. The University of St. Francis provides you the opportunity to get a great education while competing for championship. Welcome back to the Ash Center. We're in the bottom of the 9th inning. Bethel up 14-11. The Pilots with 17 hits and 1 error. St. Francis 11 runs, 16 hits, 3 errors. Cougars will lead it off with Brady Harris, Matt Vollmer in the top of the lineup. We got a pinch hitter now. It's Michael McCowan back into this game to hit for Harris. McCowan now the DH, as Frymuth is in left field. That first pitch is a ball to Michael McCowan. And then our second pitcher, Tanner Gaff, now at third base. 1-1 your count to Michael McCowan. McCowan 0 for 1 in this game. McCowan on his front foot there, takes the second strike. 1-2 is your count.
Oh yeah, that works, Heller. That's different. Good luck. Yeah, boy. Yeah. I'm too skinny. He's trying everything.
Pitch upstairs. Full count now to Michael McCowan. Michael entering today with a 170 batting average. Pitch misses inside, so the leadoff batter is aboard as McCowan draws the walk. Michael in game number 1 was 2 for 3 with 2 runs scored. Your batter now is Tony Bova. Bova, this will be his first at bat in the game. Bova with 2 runs scored already in this one as a courtesy runner. 0-1 your count. Bova entering today with a 194 batting average, 12 hits, 7 runs scored, and 62 at-bats. Bova, 2 walks, 24 strikeouts, and 3 stolen bases on the season. Big cut. Bova down to the count 0-2. Rally caps on in the dugout as the Cougars are down 14-11. 0 outs and speed at first base. Nice lead by Mikel McCowan. Real close. Corey Goodrich, number 33, the righty. Sophomore, 6'2", 190. Misses, 1 and 2's the count to Tony Bova.
Good. Let's go, kid. Sit up.
We got the rally song.
Come on, what do you say, Tony Bova? Come on, man.
Tony Bova, let's go, kid. 1-1-3.
The 1-2 to Bova. Swing and a miss. Route number 1. That brings up the leadoff batter, David Snyder. Snyder was guaranteeing a home run for this at-bat. That would pull St. Francis to within 1, 14-13.
Come on, David. Let's go, man. Come on, Dave. Come on, Dave.
Tanner Gaff on deck. Gaff starting this game at third. Pitched well for St. Francis. Now back at third. First pitch to Snyder, low in the zone for strike 1.
Come on, sock arms. No.
Good. Come on, Dave.
There we go, Snyder.
1-0.
8-0.
Goodrich.
Yes.
Snyder, that's going to fall. Nice catch by Zepeda for out number 2. That'll bring to the plate Tanner Gaff. Gaff 2 for 4 with 2 RBI and 1 walk in this game. Hit an RBI single back in the 3rd. RBI double back in the 7th.
Didn't have it, Dave.
1-0 is your count.
Oh, Lloyd, 2 buttons is this, bro. Come on, Gaff.
Kid.
Come on, it's full house. You got it.
Boys.
Yep.
2-0 is your count.
Yep. Come on, Gaff.
Come on, Gaff. Anyway on, baby. Anyway on.
Let's go, kid.
Goodrich, a 3.54 ERA. Entering today. That's in 48.1 innings pitched. He leads his team in innings pitched. Down in this count 3-0.
What do you say now, Gaff?
Gaff looking all the way. That one's right down the pipe, 3-1.
Come on, Tanner.
Goodrich, a 4-4 record, 49 hits, 35 runs, 19 of those earned, only 19 earned runs given up, 16 walks, 38 strikeouts, and opposing hitters are batting .249 against him. As Gaff is able to call time there at the plate.
What do you say now, base hit ball 4 here?
Goodrich taking his time on the bump. Gaff decides to take a timeout. These two faced each other in high school. As Tanner Gaff went to Whitco High School out of Columbia City, Indiana. Goodrich from Huntington North High School.
Go, kid. Back! Down now.
2 buttons in the zip, yeah? 2 buttons in the zip. 2 buttons in the zip. 2 buttons in the zip. Let's go, babe. Got 2-5. Good! Come on, Frank. Come on, babe.
So Gaff draws the walk. We got runners at first and second for big Noah Frymuth, who had a solo home run in his last at-bat. Does he have another one left in him to tie this ball game up at 14? Frymuth's solo home run is his 4th home run of the season, which is a team high for the Cougs. Goodrich. Mikhail McCown with a huge lead at second. So that first pitch is a ball. See if Frymuth even attempts to swing. Goodrich has been in a little bit of trouble. You'd think that Goodrich would have started tomorrow's game if it would happen. But with the rain being expected, it's looking like that game will not happen. 2 balls, 0 strikes to Noah Frymuth. Runners at first and second. Frymuth, that one's low in the zone for strike 1. Noah Frymuth.
Come on, Fry. Good hitter. Good hitter. What do you say, Nod? Come on, Noah, let's go. What do you say now? Sweet kid.
Goodrich delivers inside for ball 3. On deck, it's Tyler Prince, who's 0 for 5 in this game. In game number 1, he was 0 for 3 with a run scored. Tyler Prince is due at the dish. Checks that one for strike 2. We got a full count now to Frymuth. Runners at first and second. It's rally time for the Cougars here in the home dugout. 3-2 from Goodrich. That ball's drilled foul. Full count. It's Corey Goodrich. Dugout's coming alive. Frymuth gets hit. Bases are loaded now. Your batter's Tyler Prince.
Somebody give me a water cup.
Prince once again 0 for 8 on the day. Looking for his first hit with bases loaded. Home run here would win the game for the Cougs. Tyler Prince with 2 home runs on the season, 14 RBI entering today's game. We got a timeout here on the bump. We're going to take a break. Be right back with you with bases loaded. Good action here from Ash Center.
Sports finds the athlete's purpose beyond athletics, the industry leader in sports performance for over 10 years in Northeast Indiana. You can find out more by clicking on the Services tab at the top of this page.
Everything that I do can have an impact on somebody else.
You can dream any dream and you can chase any dream, and you can have a chance to succeed at that dream.
We're here just a speck of time.
Given the opportunities to be selfless,
That's what God does with us.
Not forgetting how you got here and who helped you along the way.
What are you doing for others?
Those to whom much has been given, much is expected.
If you're an athlete or the parent of one, you want to...
Welcome back, everybody. We have bases loaded, 2 outs. Tyler Prince, the freshman, the cleanup hitter at the dish. First pitch inside for strike 1. Looked high and in, caught the zone. It's Goodrich from the windup. 1-1's your count. Goodrich, a starter for Bethel. As that one's fouled away. 1-2 now to Prince. Goodrich has started 9 games. This is his first game that he's pitched in where he hasn't started. Bethel looking for the win. As they lost the first game 12-10. If they were to pick up the victory, it'd be their 12th win of the season. Cougars picked up their 10th win, now 10-25 overall, 7-9 in conference play. Bethel is 3-14 in Crossroads League play, 11-22 overall. Oh, gets him looking for out number 3. So Prince goes down as the Cougars will fall 14-11. Folks, thanks so much for joining us in today's doubleheader. We started at 1 o'clock. It was about 6 hours and 22 minutes to complete this doubleheader. Great game by the Cougars in game number 1. Great game in game number 2 here. Just couldn't pull it out with bases loaded. So that will do it, folks. Thanks again once again for joining us. My name's Jeff Mahoney. Until next time, have a great weekend.